let's talk about building the perfect 2024 Ford Maverick. Now, this is easily one of the hottest trucks out there, but man, the options can be a lot to take in. So this is for you, Jewel, and for anyone else trying to figure out which Maverick is the one. Let's dive in.
So what's the big deal with the Maverick? Why is everybody talking about it? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Ford totally nailed this. They've blended the comfort and easy driving of an SUV with the real-world usefulness of a pickup truck, and they did it at a price that's frankly almost impossible to beat. It's the truck for people who never even knew they wanted a truck.
And that's the big question, right? You've got 2 different engines, 3 trim levels, and a whole bunch of packages you can add on. It can feel a little overwhelming, but don't you worry, we are going to break it all down step by step so you can figure out the exact Maverick that's going to fit your life perfectly.
Okay, first things first, before we get into anything else, you have to choose the heart of your truck. This is probably the single biggest decision you're going to make, and it really comes down to a classic choice. Are you going for raw power, or are you all about that amazing fuel efficiency?
As you can see, the choice is pretty clear-cut. Over on the left, you've got the 2.0L EcoBoost. That's your powerhouse. You get more horsepower, way more torque, the option for all-wheel drive, which is huge, and you can tow up to 4,000 pounds if you get the right package. Then on the right, you have the 2.5-liter hybrid, the absolute king of efficiency. 42 miles per gallon in the city? That's incredible. The trade-off, it's front-wheel drive only, and your towing's capped at 2,000 pounds. So the question for you, Jewel, is simple. Do you need the power and capability, or are you chasing those maximum fuel savings?
So, once you've picked your engine, it's time to choose your style. The Maverick comes in 3 really distinct trim levels, or as I like to call them, flavors, and each one is aimed at a totally different kind of driver.
Let's kick things off with the XL. You got to think of this as the pure back-to-basics Maverick experience. It's the practical, no-frills workhorse designed to just get the job done without making your wallet cry.
But don't let base model fool you, okay? This thing is not stripped down. Even the entry-level XL comes standard with an 8-inch touchscreen, you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, cruise control, it's all there. Plus, it has Ford's super clever FlexBed system with all these tie-downs and slots for you to build your own dividers. It has all the modern stuff you actually need.
All right, now let's move up to the XLT. This is the middle child, and for a lot of people, it's the most popular one. It's the versatile all-arounder that really hits that sweet spot between utility and comfort, and it gives you a lot more room to customize.
So for about $2,500 more, you get some nice upgrades like the alloy wheels and a power locking tailgate. But the real reason to pick the XLT is what it unlocks. This is the trim that lets you get into the serious packages like the FX4 off-road package and the really capable Tremor package. And finally, we arrive at the Lariat. This is the top dog. This is for the buyer who wants all the bells and whistles, the whole shebang. It really transforms the Maverick from a practical little truck into a premium, tech-forward cruiser. Yeah, the Lariat is just loaded with goodies. You get heated front seats wrapped in ActiveX, that's Ford's really durable leather-like material, a fantastic B&O sound system, dual-zone climate control, and the big one, the feature a lot of people upgrade for, is that Ford Copilot 360 Assist package. That's what gives you things like adaptive cruise control. This is the choice if you want maximum comfort and convenience. Period.
But here's the thing, Jewel, picking your trim, that's just the starting point. The real fun begins when you start digging into the packages. Because these can completely change the personality of your truck, especially if you're starting with an XLT or a Lariat.
So let's say you've picked that powerful EcoBoost engine and you've got a taste for adventure. You're not just hauling mulch from the garden center, you want to hit the trails. You want to get a little mud on the tires. Well, Ford has an answer for that. And that answer is the Tremor package. Listen, this is not just some fancy sticker pack, no way. This is a serious upgrade. You get a 1-inch factory lift, a super sophisticated all-wheel drive system with a locking rear differential, beefy all-terrain tires, and trail control, which is kind of like cruise control for off-roading. This package turns the Maverick into a genuinely capable little off-road beast. Okay, specs and brochures are one thing, but what's the real story? What do the folks who actually own these trucks, who drive them every single day, have to say? Let's look at some real-world feedback to help you make your choice.
This right here is a perfect example of why someone would stretch their budget for the Lariat. For this owner, one single feature, that adaptive cruise control, was a total non-negotiable. It was a complete game changer for their commute, and that alone made the higher price of the Lariat worth every single penny to them. And then you have the other side of the coin. This owner found that perfect sweet spot with an XLT and then adding the luxury package. This gets you those key features you want, like heated seats and heated mirrors, without making that huge $8,000 jump to the Lariat. For a lot of buyers, this is the smart money play.
But you know what? Owners also have some warnings for you. Some insider info on what you might want to skip. A lot of people say to just forget the wireless charging pad. They call it a phone warmer more than a charger. And that 400-watt outlet in the bed? Some say it's just too weak to power anything really useful. This is the kind of practical advice that can save you some actual money.
Speaking of money, let's talk about the final, and for most people, the most important factor, the budget. I mean, the Maverick's incredible appeal starts with its price, but it's really important to see the whole picture. Let's just start with the number that gets everyone's attention. Under $24,000 for a brand new pickup truck. This price is exactly why the Maverick became such a phenomenon. It's just an unbelievable value right out of the gate.
But we all know how this goes, right? What happens when you start checking the boxes? You go for the top trim, you had that awesome Tremor package, you throw in a bed cover, some cool accessories, the price starts to climb. And it can climb really, really fast.
And there you have it. You are seeing that right. It is completely possible to option a Ford Maverick to over $60,000. That is more than double its starting price. This huge range is exactly why it is so important to figure out what you truly need versus what's just nice to have.
So, to bring it all together for you, Jewel, here's your decision-making path. It's 4 simple steps. First, choose your heart. EcoBoost power or hybrid efficiency. Second, pick your style. The XL Workhorse, the XLT All-Rounder, or the Lariat Luxury Hub. Third, add your mission. Think about packages like the Tremor for off-roading or the 4K tow package. And finally, number 4, set your budget and be honest about your priorities.
Ultimately, the choice is all yours. Will you be the efficient commuter, sipping gas with the hybrid? The versatile adventurer, ready for anything with an XLT Tremor? Or the loaded luxury cruiser, enjoying all the tech in a Lariat? No matter what you choose, you're going to get one of the smartest vehicles on the road today. The only question left is, what kind of Maverick driver will you be?